Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Steve Ferguson, your modern loan advisor. Thanks for tuning into the channel today, and thanks for watching this video. Today, we're going to talk about, should you refinance your current home or should you buy another one? Before we get started, don't forget to like or subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys. I love seeing your comments and your questions, and invite your friends. Share this video around. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so let's set some parameters between buying a brand new construction or refinancing what I have. The very first thing you need to do is figure out what cannot be changed. Now, let me break this down for a second. If I stay in my current home, I can't change its location. I can't change the school district. I can't change the taxes. I cannot change any of those things. And the opposite is also true. If I buy a new home, I'm going to have to relocate my family and move wherever that new home happens to be. Whatever school district it happens to be in, whatever tax bracket it happens to be in, I can't move my current home to that brand new location. So listen, if you love the school district, the taxes, what you're paying on the house, etc., then you need to pay close attention to your current home and determine if you can make it what you want it to be. If school district and all that stuff doesn't matter to you, if you want to move anyway, if you want to get closer to work, etc., now a new home may make more sense. Okay? So remember, those are things that you cannot modify in any way, form, or fashion. They just are what they are. Has nothing to do with what you do to your current home or the new construction. It's just location and taxes, right? Now, once we've determined that, if we're willing to give it up where we currently live and we're willing to move, then we've got to look at costs. So if I want a huge, beautiful open kitchen to my living room, do I have the ability in my current home to do that? Either A, square footage, B, structure, C, location of the house, right? Where it is inside the house. So if my kitchen is off by itself and I've got a bedroom over here and a bedroom over here before I get to the living room, you may not be able to do it. Or if you're going to do it, it may cost a lot of money to rearrange that interior structure. Versus on new construction, those kinds of layouts are very prevalent, right? Now, the cool thing about taxes on property, when you're thinking about property taxes, because those things are expensive when you're looking at real estate, is that especially in Texas, whatever's under your roof line now, if you modify it, if you upgrade it, if you do anything to it, it's not going to modify your taxes. It's still the same square footage. And guys, if you want clarity on this, please go research this to make sure it's on your own. That's my disclaimer. I'm not a tax guy. I'm a mortgage guy. But I can tell you from personal experience, it doesn't matter what you do underneath the roof line. Your taxes should stay the same. On new construction, what happens is when the taxing authority finds out about that property, they're going to tax it based on current market value, which means you may be paying higher taxes. You may have higher HOA fees, maintenance fees, etc. on new construction versus existing construction. So that being said, write down a list of, hey, you know what? Why am I even thinking about this? I want these things. I want a media room, I want a larger kitchen, and I want a third car garage. Okay. Versus, can I get it in new construction? Yes, I can. What does a house at new construction cost for me to get those things, right? What am I willing to give up to get it? Versus on my current home, how much is it going to cost me to get it built, right? The only way we're going to figure that out is to do some research and to invite some people to your home to take a look at it. And then how long will it take to build it? And what kind of inconvenience is that going to be for me? Okay. Now, if you've got a little bit of time on your hands, a few months, and you're willing to give the time to get that rehab done, you found a great contractor, then staying with your current home may be a great way to do those things. Plus, you already have the equity position where it's highly likely you may be able to do a loan and not put any money down on it because the equity position is there for you to do that loan all in one encompassing thing. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So when you're talking to your contractor, you want to ask them, can I live in my home while this renovation is going on? Can I do it piece by piece if I want to? And if I have a budget of X number of dollars, can you get it all done in that budget? Those are going to be things that answer your questions very thoroughly when you're comparing keeping your existing home to buying a new home. Now, one thing that's real big for me being a numbers guy is what does it really cost? Like, what is the end result of this? Let's just assume both houses are finished. Which one's less expensive to me and my family? More often than not, you'll probably be able to get your current home done less expensively if you're within a reasonable range of modifying your house versus buying new construction. But there are exceptions to that rule. So for example, if you wanted to add on a whole lot of square footage to your existing house, that can be very expensive. You may be able to get that square footage taken care of on new construction at a lower cost because a lot of these builders out there are trying to sell larger homes for less money. So you may be able to get that done with new construction easier. You don't have to move out of the house or do any of those things to get it done. But if you're modifying a kitchen or you're putting some closet space in, or you're converting your garage to something else, or you're adding an additional garage, or maybe something above your garage, that may be less expensive than buying new construction. There's no way for me to know this specifically. You guys are gonna have to do a little bit of research and write down your numbers. I'm a big fan of pros and cons lists. And if you write down top 10 of each, I want these things, but I'm willing to give up these 10 items or these 3 things. Is it worth it? That's up to you. It's a great thing to figure out, but you definitely have to figure these things out in order to make the best decision. Now, it's also really important to choose a great contractor. I never recommend making a decision on a whim. Get a professional out to your house, tell them exactly what you want to do and see if it can be done. That's the first question. And the second question is, what's it going to cost? Third question is, how much am I going to be inconvenienced? How long is this going to take? So get those answers before you make a decision, and then do the same thing for new construction. Hey, if I want this house, how long is it going to take for me to get it? What's the build time? What's the interest rate? What are the closing costs? I've got to sell my current home. What are the realtor commissions cost? I got a buyer's agent, a seller's agent. I've got closing costs. Those are all expenses on getting to your new home. So you've got to consider everything when you're doing the comparison. Listen, it's important to take your time, make a great decision, understand what you want, and then go after it. Okay, guys, let's move to part 2 of this video, refinancing versus buying. Now, I'm not really going to talk about the homes being really any different. I'm going to talk about long-term financial planning and how to set yourself up in a way where you gain wealth in real estate. If you've owned your home for any amount of time, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, etc., there's a good chance that you have a substantial equity position in your home. What can you do with that equity? Well, you can refinance that property and you can pay off debt. So if you've got $50,000 in shorter term debt, that'd be like car payments, credit cards, student loans, any of those things. I can take the equity from my home, pay those things off, and save a lot of money a month. I mean, I've saved people thousands of dollars a month in actual outlay because we've leveraged the equity of their current home and paid off short-term debt. You cannot do that when you buy new construction. You have to wait for that to happen in order to refinance it and get that equity to pay off that debt. So there's something to be said for keeping your current home and refinancing it, even dumping a little bit of that money in a rehab or upgrading carpet or walls or some appliances, some countertops, and then using the rest to pay off debt could set you up for substantial success in real estate and finances. So keep that in mind. The second thing to consider is you could leverage your equity position in your current home to buy an investment property or to buy another piece of property. So if you've got $100,000 in equity, as an example, and we take $80,000 of that equity out, and we use that to buy an investment property, that's the down payment, the closing costs, etc. Now I've turned one home into 2 homes. So now again, we're expanding our real estate portfolio, which is likely building long-term wealth for you. Well, everyone, I really appreciate you tuning into this video. I hope it was valuable information for you guys. Please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. I've got a lot of other YouTube videos on my channel. Check them all out. Share this with friends, ask questions, drop comments. Would love to hear from you. And my contact information is in the details of this video. Call anytime. Let's do an analysis for you guys and figure out specifically what works for you and your family. We can compare buy and sell and refinance and everything that you need. That way you've got accurate information from this moment forward. All right, I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.